Hello everyone, it's Valerie from Stampin' with Valerie. I want to say hi and welcome to Update Tuesday for Tuesday, July 21st, 2020. So today Stampin' Up! Shared with us this great photo with 4 different cards on it, and their theme this week was casing, which is copy and share everything. So what they're wanting people to know, and customers especially, the catalog is not just for buying products from. You can use it to copy and share those ideas that are in the catalog. So they shared a few cards with us today, and so I am going to copy and share this card. So I have got some supplies ready. I've got my Butterfly Gala stamp set, my Butterfly Duet punch, which goes with this. And so let's get our stamps out that we need. I haven't gotten them on blocks yet. So we're gonna need 2 of the butterflies, different ones. Now remember, these butterflies, you get both of them on one stamp. So you have the smaller butterfly and the larger butterfly. So then when you go to stamp them, you can punch them out at the same time. I'm trying to figure out which butterfly they used over here, and I think I've got the right ones. If not, close enough, right? They're butterflies. We'll be okay if it's not the exact one. Now the only other thing we need is our sentiment, which is a little hello, or a little note, sorry. For some reason I was thinking it said hello. In my brain, that's what it said. And we're gonna be using some Versamark ink and some white embossing powder, and we're going to emboss these. So let's grab our blocks. Let's grab some of that embossing powder, and we will get started. Now tomorrow night for One Card Wonder Wednesday, I'm going to be using something out of the brand new catalog, which I'm really excited about. I'm not sure if I'm going to, which holiday I'm going to do yet, but you know, we've got lots of fall stuff, we've got Halloween stuff, we've obviously got Christmas stuff. So I'm just not sure which one I want to focus on yet. So we got a piece of the gorgeous So Saffron, or yeah, So Saffron, some Night of Navy, and we are going to need a little bit of Pool Party, but we're going to have to kind of do these in stages. So I'm just going to run my embossing buddy over these lightly, just so we don't have any issues with our embossing powder going everywhere, all over the rest of the card where we don't want it, basically. So grab the memento, and the first thing we're going to do is just ink. I'm going to go ahead and do obviously both butterflies at the same time. It's just easier than trying to divide it up. Now we don't want that Versamark to dry, so I'm going to go ahead and just sprinkle for now, and I'm just going to leave it sitting there. Then we're going to do the opposite butterfly for the So Saffron, and I'll do the same. I'll just do some sprinkling and let it sit there. Hopefully I got that all the way on there. And then we need 1 tiny Pool Party butterfly. So since I already have this one out, I'm just going to use that little tiny one and put it right on the corner of that Pool Party paper. Now also on this Night of Navy, which I should have done the top here a little bit too, we're going to need our sentiment. So go ahead and get that Versamarked. And since I already have some powder on this, I'm just going to kind of do this and let it roll down and cover that spot. So just shake off any excess, and later I'll obviously get all of this back into this container, but for now it's just going to go right here on a chair behind me so I don't knock it over. All right, I'm going to grab the heat tool, and we'll go ahead and heat set all of that embossing powder, which is basically, as you know, just melting it. got a couple of extra cords over here. I gotta move a cord or I'm gonna knock something on the floor here. We do not want that. All right, I'm gonna turn this on, let it heat up for just a second. Then I'm gonna use my take your pick tool just to hold my paper down so I don't end up with burning my fingers or my paper blowing away from the air that's being pushed onto it. There we go. It's gonna be so pretty when it's done and all this, these are all punched out. It's a really gorgeous card. Wait till you see the next step that we're gonna do. It looks like it's really fun. Something I've never personally done, so it'll be fun to do. Nothing super complicated, just different. Oh, these So Saffron butterflies are gorgeous with that Whisper White embossing powder on them. Aren't those beautiful? All right, let's get our Night of Navy. Sometimes I feel like one side of my heat tool heats up faster than the other, and then I have to keep switching it. But it could just be the angle I'm holding it at as well. All right, make sure I got that melted. I'm gonna go ahead and do the sentiment. Gorgeous. And now you'll know if you don't have it melted all the way because it'll still be gritty feeling. And you definitely don't want that because your embossing powder can obviously just be taken off from your project. Excuse me. So go ahead and just then get your punch out after you've gotten your butterflies done. And now we're not going to use all of these. The smaller ones are not going to be used other than that pool party butterfly. So I'll have a couple of little butterflies to use for something else, which is fantastic, I think. I love that we didn't stamp the bodies on here. We're just leaving the bodies the same color as the cardstock. So when they're punched out, like that has a Night of Navy body, and these, the other one has the So Saffron. And then of course we've got our tiny little pool party one. Perfect. All right, I'm gonna set our sentiment aside. We'll trim that in a minute. So let's start on the card base. Basically, our card base is going to be pool party. So we've got that pool party cardstock. Just fold it, use your bone folder on it. If you don't have a bone folder, you really need one because it really does come in handy. Now there's also a piece, and I haven't cut this yet. There's probably more than one, a couple of pieces. Oh my goodness, this happened last Tuesday too. What is wrong with Tuesday? I just cannot talk right. So I'm probably gonna cut this into a couple little pieces, but we have a stitched rectangle. We have just a piece of vellum that we're going to be ripping down actually, because in their card they have it just ripped down. And on that piece of vellum, we're going to do some sponging, but we're also going to do a little bit of sponging directly onto this Whisper White. Now, we're not going to do a lot. We're just going to add some of these polka dots from the basic pattern masks. So I'm just going to do it really light. I'm going to actually rub some of it off on here. And then I'm just going to sponge just a little bit in the center. Some polka dots. Now you don't want to do the whole piece. You just want to do a little bit of it. And then for this piece of vellum, they have just sponged directly on it. Now this is when I was talking about, this is something I haven't done. I've never sponged directly onto vellum with any ink color. But I thought it was kind of a neat concept, because how fun, you can have all different colors of vellum. Now I know you can barely see that, but that is gray versus the white. You can see it when I lay it on there. And then I'm going to let that dry for a second, because you know on vellum it takes a little bit longer for it to dry. While that's drying, we can trim our sentiment down. So I'm just going to use the regular paper trimmer for that. Get some of my little things out of the way here. And we're just going to trim it down. I'm just going to look at it on the paper trimmer and trim it down from there. There were no measurements with this project, so it's kind of fly by the seat of your pants to do it, which is kind of what I'm doing. As long as I'm not cutting any of the letters off, we're good, right? And now they had it trimmed right down, right to the end of each word. So it's not super difficult to do, and it's probably about a 1/2 inch strip by the time you get done. So if you make this, if you have any 1/2 inch strips, use those and then just trim them down after you get your sentiment on there. So the sentiment is ready. We have our little piece here. We're going to need some sequins on here. I'm going to use some of the Whale of a Time sequins. So what I want to do with this piece, and I should have just kept the paper trimmer out, is I was just going to cut this in half. So I need to see how big it is. It's 2 inches. So I'm going to cut these into 1-inch strips. And then I'm just going to take one of those strips and just cut it approximately in half. Doesn't have to be completely in half. And the reason I'm doing that is just to save on cardstock, and I'll show you why. When they laid this card down, they had a little bit of this coming out from the top and a little bit sticking out at the bottom. But I didn't want to use an entire big piece of that designer series paper, because as you know, we like to savor our designer series paper and use it for lots of different things. So this is why I'm going to put it on here like this. I'm just going to add a couple of strips and then go from there. That way our little strips are kind of poking out. Make sure before I push it down all the way that it's kind of where I want it, and it is. And we'll do the same with this strip. Make sure it's kind of where I want it before we stick it down. It needs to come up just a little bit, oh, just a little bit higher. Perfect. So now we've got those. So instead of having a big sheet of this or a big piece of it, we just use those 2 little strips just to have a little bit coming out at the edges. Now they layered this piece on a little bit of an angle. So we're gonna do the same. We'll just layer it on an angle. And this card really is super cute when it's done. It's the addition of those butterflies. And this, I am not sure why this makes me so happy, but this little gray piece just really makes me happy. Now we're just gonna rip it, because that's kind of what they did. And they had a little rectangle. So we're gonna take a little bit extra from the edges. Doesn't have to be 100% straight. Just as long as you've got it, your edges ripped, and it's gonna kind of go over those polka dots. Now what I wanted to do with this is just adhere it down just a little bit on this corner, because this is where our butterflies are gonna be, and that will hold that in place. Plus our sentiment will be up here, and that will help hold it in place as well. But we don't want our adhesive to be showing, so that's why I'm doing it that way. All right, so grab some dimensionals, and we're gonna put just a couple on that sentiment. We'll use the regular size ones on the sentiment. And then we want our sentiment to be straight across. So I gotta kind of look at the card this way and do it like this. Otherwise I'm gonna do the sentiment on an angle, and I don't really want it on an angle. I want it even with the top of the card. There we go. And now that's holding the top. I keep feeling like I'm going to get gray on me, but I'm not. It's already dry. It hasn't gotten any gray on me. All right. For the back of the two large butterflies, I think we can use, we can use a regular size dimensional in the center of those. Then for our little pool party butterfly, we'll just use one of the mini dimensionals. We'll get these cuties layer on here. They're gonna be so adorable when it's done. When you see this, it's just super cute. Sometimes I'm amazed when I see something and it's different than like just sponging that. I never would have thought to sponge vellum. Like it just would not have popped into my head. So now I'm excited. That's a new skill I learned just from doing this today. At our other little butterfly, we'll grab some Tombow glue and we'll grab some of these sequins out of here. We'll pour a few out. Now, I don't know if you've seen the Whale of a Time sequins, but they're really adorable. They've got some seashells in there, which we don't need the seashells for this one, but I just wanted to point them out because I think they're super cute. Go ahead and just dot on some glue wherever you want to put a sequin. We're going to put a lot on there because we like them. And we like a lot of them. Now on their card, it looks like they used all the same color. So we'll stick with that. We'll stick with just all these pool party colored ones. We'll dump a few more out just to make sure, because sometimes they're laying on there upside down and you go to get them and then you end up with 3 sequins instead of just 1. So we'll kind of dump a few more out and find the ones that are facing up and go from there. Maybe one more small one. And that one looks like 2 hooked together maybe. Nope, it's just 1. Yay. All right, there you have it. That is today's Update Tuesday card. Now because these are iridescent, they're going to shimmer some different colors when you move the card around. But I love how this turned out. I think it's fantastic. Now we can stick a piece of Whisper White on the inside, and since we have a couple little extra butterflies, maybe we'll just put those on the inside. I have sticky on my fingers from this adhesive earlier when I was messing with it. And I just keep sticking to everything. You know, when you watch a video with me, it's gonna be real. It's not all gonna be perfect. Things are gonna happen. So I hope you all are okay with that. I'm sure you are, or you wouldn't be here. All right, so we can add a little bit of glue and glue these in here, and that will be super cute. We'll put them on this side. I kind of like them on that right-hand side. We'll do our So Saffron one first. Then we'll add our Night of Navy one. Kind of, let me flip it around. Kind of going the other way maybe. And there you have it. There is today's Update Tuesday card. I think it turned out really cute. I love that the only ink we used was Versamark, and then we embossed everything. And then we used some of the gray granite just to do some sponging. So I thought it turned out really cute. I hope you enjoyed this one. I hope you will join me tomorrow for One Card Wonder Wednesday. And before I go, let me get these little sequins out of the way. And I want to show you Paper Party Palooza. Now, this is something I did in my actual event for the first one I did. I called Paper Party Extravaganza. And that is coming up this weekend. So if you didn't register for that one, it's too late. But the Paper Party Palooza this time, I'm going to be doing it with my friend Lisa Marie and Rebecca. And we are going to be offering these fantastic paper kits and card kits. So basically what you would receive is a quarter pack of every designer series and specialty paper series in the new holiday mini catalog, which is 12 different papers. You're going to get a card kit for each pack of that designer series paper. You're going to have access to the exclusive Facebook group. You're going to have entry into exclusive door prize drawings and product from the new Holiday Mini. We're going to do prize patrol throughout the live event. We are going to be sending invoices, and all payment is due by August 3rd. Shipping is included in the fees, so there are some different things down here. So for $75, you can do just the Paper Party Palooza, get the pre-recorded videos for no pressure crafting, and access to the Facebook group for the live event. For $90, you can get the Paper Party Palooza and the Christmas Means More stamp set. For $115, you can get the Paper Party Palooza and the Banner Year bundle. For $125, you can get the Paper Party Palooza and Wishes and Wonder bundle. And then for $185, you get everything up here and a free gift. So you'll get Paper Party Palooza, Christmas Means More stamp set, Banner Year bundle, and the Wishes and Wonder bundle, plus a free gift. So I am going to include a link for this in the description of my Update Tuesday video, and so hopefully you can sign up and join us for this. It's going to be a lot of fun. You get to have some of the paper from the holiday catalog, a quarter of each pack, to work to make your holiday cards with, that type of thing. And that way you don't have to buy every pack of paper. You get a little bit of each, so it's kind of a sampling. So I hope you will join us. Thank you for joining me for Update Tuesday, and I will see you tomorrow night for One Card Wonder Wednesday. Bye.